right, all right. We are back again with the co-authors of From Rock Bottom to Rock Stars. So listen, we started off at 7 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, 7 Central Standard Time. Came back in with another group at 8. And now we're here with these amazing, beautiful, gorgeous two ladies tonight at 9 Central Standard Time. And so this has been a fun-filled, jam-packed night with the co-authors. And I'm telling you, ladies, how do y'all feel having did this project and now it's over and you're getting ready to celebrate this weekend with the gala? How do you feel?
I'm excited. I am so excited. I'm so happy to have gotten that part over with. It was a little harder than I expected,
Really?
but yeah, with writing, it just kind of it took me down a whole nother path. You say you want to write a book, and then you're like, okay, when you start writing, then it's kind of like, okay, let's put it together, let's make it make sense and all that good stuff. But it was enjoyable. I kind of look at it as like kind of like therapy for me.
Yeah.
I was kind of able to get it all out there and really get it out there. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And so, although you came in and said that, I still want you to go back and introduce yourself, ma'am.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So, yes, my name is Elvany Weatherspoon, and I am co-author of the Rock Bottom to Rock Stars Anthology with Dr. Davis. My chapter is, well, I'm writing a full book, but I wanted to put my first chapter in the anthology, and my book is called It Was Perfect Until It Wasn't. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, I love it. And when we were talking about, the chapter, there's so many twists and turns. The things. With Albany, she
Mhm.
has such a great story, and I'm telling you, people never know how you're going to end up, what's going to happen
Mhm.
in life. You just,
Mhm.
sometimes you take things for face value and you do your due diligence and you think, okay, I've checked off these boxes, so I should be good to go. But like you
Mhm.
said, it was perfect until it wasn't. So
Exactly.
I can't wait for you all to read her story as with everybody else. And so, of course, Dr. Kimberly is with us here tonight as well. So, Dr. Kimberly Golden, how are you tonight, ma'am?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thank you for
Doing
having me on.
absolutely,
All of us.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So, give us a little bit about well, first and foremost, the name of your chapter, and then just a little tidbit about what your chapter's about.
Okay, absolutely. So, my chapter is The Not So Shrinking Violet, and it really takes you on a journey from my past when it comes to childhood molestation and rape. And then it transitions into really how that impacts a person. I
Mhm,
think in this day and time with the Me Too movement,
mhm.
we've actually kind of become a little bit, I don't want to say numb, but it's almost like, oh yeah, me too, me too, me too. But we
Right.
don't really talk about the after effects. There are a lot of things that can come, or it impacts women in different ways, right? So I feel like we're still kind of brushing that piece off. Like we're acknowledging that it happened, but we're not really talking about the after effects. And so
Mhm.
I deal with that. And then I also delve into finance. I delve into, how I made a very tragic decision that resulted in financial loss, extreme financial loss, just kind of at a pivotal moment in my life where I had gotten myself to a point where I felt like I had arrived, and then I just lost everything,
Mhm.
and so I talk about that, and I share, secrets of the wealthy. I share a little bit of financial information. So super excited about this book. I share Ebony's sentiments that I'm excited, nervous, and scared too, but
Mhm.
but very excited.
I think, from having the inside track of being able to, read everybody's story, it's such a powerful thing when women come together and recognize that even when I've been through something in my life, we're conditioned to, what they say, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And,
Mhm.
everybody don't need to know your business. Keep it to
Yep.
yourself. When you grow up in that type of environment, people don't realize how traumatizing that really can be for people. And they don't really understand. It's kind of like, when you have a big sore and you put something over it, but you're not
Mhm.
allowing it to, heal and get the air it needs to, start scabbing over so that it can, it's just constantly it's pussing up underneath the surface. You don't see it, but it's still nasty up under there. And until you can release it and grow through it, it's always going to hold you back. It's always going to keep you down. It's always going to, be something that the dirty little secret, you know. And when people tell you, that there's a dirty little secret, sometimes we try to escape that. And sometimes it means leaving the little girl that's inside you behind, because you're just trying to get away and trying to find something different and better. But in order to be whole, in order to heal, we got to go back and get that little girl. And really, come to terms with what has happened, like you said, Dr. Kimberly, because you're trying to grow and you're trying to get to this next level in life. And it requires you to deal head on, because there are some things that happen residually that don't go away just because nobody's talking about it.
Exactly.
Correct. And some of it stems from the way the abuser actually abuses. Like, we look at the physical effects, right? When we talk about molestation and rape, we automatically think about the physicality of it.
Right.
But there are things oftentimes that abusers may say, to their quote unquote victims that, really disempower you, for a very long time within your lifetime. So you have children that are growing up with shame, growing up, feeling the blame, feeling like they're the ones that are to blame. And actually, there are studies that show that, childhood molestation and rape can actually even change the structure of the brain. And so, there's a lot of behaviors and patterns that result as a part of that when we really, don't take, like you said, take a good look at what happened and really go back and get that little girl and get her some help, whatever help means to you, whether, like you mentioned before, whether it's therapy, whether it's getting by yourself and really taking time to really look inside and really, find out what that is that's going on the inside so you can actually heal that and move forward. A lot of women, we always show up on the outside, for other people, and we show up on the jobs and we show up in our homes and with the families and, we're the nurturers, we're the doers.
Yes.
But oftentimes, we neglect ourselves. So it's very important, like you said, that we take that look inward and take that journey toward healing so we can be a better self on the inside and project that on the outside and not have to fake it till we make it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I have to
Exactly.
fake it till you make it. Because like you passed it earlier, we got to live our better than best life. And that doesn't happen
Yes.
when you're faking it till you make it. You want to be able to really embrace where you are. Now,
Exactly.
Albany, for you on your story, it is
Yes.
such a twist. It is such a
It really is.
unexpected. Yes.
I've actually been going out and doing a lot of footwork with getting out to the communities, talking about my story,
Mm-hmm.
giving out as much as the information that I can. And also going down to the legislation building down to Cordell Hall, been meeting with legislators, really learning that portion of it,
Mm-hmm.
because I've learned that although what happened to me, it should never happen to anyone.
Right.
And I tell everybody that, like, I don't care who you are, where you from, but that should never happen again. And in order for me to help create change, I have to tell my story. I have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I have to show up, because I think that was the biggest part for me was I said 2024, I'm going to show up. Even when I don't want to, I'm going to show up. Even when I'm tired, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I've been the busiest I've ever been. But I've been taking in the opportunities and really using it to my advantage to get out there and really, try to make a change, because I didn't know about, how legislation works and how bills work and how voting work and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for me to ensure that we have some changes made, getting in there and really putting in the footwork and
Mm-hmm.
talking to legislators and talking to, the police department and different organizations. I've teamed up with a few different organizations that share the same ideas and goals as myself. And I've also reached out to NAMI, which is that's the National Association of Mental Illness.
Mhm.
And, I've shared my story with them. I've even went to the Domestic Violence Center, shared my stories with them. And also, am open to doing training with NAMI and sharing my story so that I can get with the police departments and just talk to them about it. I think that unfortunately it was just one of those situations where it may not have ever happened before, so they weren't really sure how to handle it. But now, since I was able to really take a look and see the gray areas that really needs attention, I have been able to get out there and really share my story. And at first it was hard for me, because anybody that's going through trauma, it took me a couple months to get comfortable with even talking about it without crying. And
Right.
so now I think that just talking about it and knowing that I have a plan in place, I have a goal set. Even if, I talk to people, just to save one life is worth so much to me, because I found out that Tennessee is one of the highest ranked domestic violence killing rates in the states. And that's alarming.
It is. It
But
is.
then you see, I say at first I was like, why me? Why me? Why me? That was my biggest thing. Why me? Why?
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was meditating and something said, why not? Why not you?
Mm-hmm.
God knows that you are going to be able to get out there, and you are going to be able to, you're not going to stop until you have and get to where you want to be. And, I've been sharing my story. It's been everybody, as soon as I start, I ask them, I say, are you from Murfreesboro? And they say yes or no. And if they know, I'm like, okay. I like to share my link first because it's so lengthy that
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to talk about it, because I'm a waste 45 minutes trying to explain the whole story. So I'll
Right.
just share the link and let them see. And they're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that happened." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, me too." But guess what? I'm hoping that it never happens again. And if it does, a plan will be in place. So that's my goal.
And that's the beauty of this anthology, is that each one of you ladies have came from your own personal traumas and
Mhm.
situations, and it speaks to inspiring other women, because whenever you're in the midst of things, you always think you're the only one, like
Mhm.
nobody's dealing with what I'm dealing with, nobody understands how I feel. But as
Yes.
you read these stories, and what I love is nobody knows what each other unless y'all personally swapped it, but y'all don't know about the book because I didn't let them see anything. They
Mhm.
getting it just like you getting it, to hear everybody's
Yeah.
story, so they're going to read it together and
Mhm.
realize that, man, you would be amazed to look from the outside in at
Mhm.
somebody and never think you've been exposed to the level of trauma that you have been. But
Exactly.
you have decided to not let that define you. I said that in the previous broadcast, your past doesn't define you, whether it is molestation and rape and abuse, whether it is domestic violence and dealing with mental health issues. All of those things could have traumatized you to the point where you weren't able to go forward. But y'all
Mhm.
show the strength and resiliency inside of you, that intestinal fortitude to say that, you know what, I may be down for a minute, but I'm not out for the count. And because
Mhm.
I'm not, I'm going to bounce back stronger. And as I bounce back, I'm coming for more people to help them to bounce back with me. So, Dr. Kimberly, in your case, even though you went through what you went through as a child, even with the financial situation, you didn't just lay down and say, okay, now I'm broke, busted, disgusted, and I'm never
Mhm.
going to ever go out here and do anything else
Mhm.
again. You chose to tap into this profession, learn it, master it, and now help other
And own
people
it.
to never have to experience something like that again, if that is what if they're willing to make the necessary steps to get there. Can you share a little bit about where you are in that journey as far as your profession and how it is beneficial to help other people when they experience financial issues?
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, this is a big passion of mine. I love talking about anything health, wealth, and finance. So, essentially, I sit down with families and I share with them how they can save money, pay
Mhm.
less in taxes, and retire early. And I really educate on the rules of money. One of the things that I think is missing, not only in the minority communities, but actually with females, is financial education. There
Mm,
were just a lot of things that we didn't talk, and we call them the
mhm,
secrets of the wealthy, but actually they're not really secrets. We just
mm-mm.
weren't taught, or we just didn't read
Exactly.
about them. So we get stuck in patterns and we pass down generational poverty. And, I want to break that cycle in families. I want to start generational wealth in as many families as I can, because we
Mhm,
absolutely can do it. It's not that we're any less intelligent. We just
mhm,
we just didn't know about a lot of things. So I share those secrets of the wealthy so that others can be empowered and impacted. And you'd be surprised when you think about a financial professional. People think, well, it costs a lot to even sit and speak with one. I will literally educate families at no cost. And I do that because it is just that important that we empower one another, right? And the
mm,
other thing is that when we think about finances, that's another thing that seems to bring shame to a lot of people. We don't like
mhm,
to talk about finance. It's something that we just
Right.
kind of like to keep secret. A lot of people don't even like to even think about budgeting or anything like that, right?
mhm,
And so that's one of the things I like to bring it to the forefront. Sometimes, it may feel like an in your face session, but at the end of the day, it is definitely for your betterment. And you'd be surprised at sometimes how little it takes to be able to set up generational wealth in your
mhm,
family and leave a legacy. Yeah, I want to leave a legacy, right? And I know, many other women do too. We want to leave a legacy for our family. We care about our children. We want to see our children sometimes even better off than we are, right? So
Absolutely.
that's one of the things that I really want to do for families. And I'm just helping one family at a time or one individual at a time.
Beautiful, beautiful,
That's
beautiful.
amazing. I love that.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I think the power is. So let me go back and say, for those of you who are watching or will watch the replay, these ladies have released their anthology. So it's a total of 13 ladies, led by Dr. Tanya Davis, and Dr. Davis is honey, instrumental out in these streets, making a difference, right? So not only being the visionary behind this project, but also being the founder of Women Who Rock Nashville. This weekend they are having an amazing gala, and it is going to be everything. But the beauty is in celebrating women, in the
Mhm,
Nashville and surrounding area for their accomplishments, what they're out here doing in these streets, making a difference, impacting and influencing people to become their better selves. And
mhm,
so, the fact that Dr. Tanya has used her platforms to shine the light on people, this anthology in turn has use this opportunity about the stories these ladies are sharing to shine spotlights on areas where we struggle with. You know what I'm saying? It
mhm,
is finances, whether it is like CJ was talking about, with our health. A lot of times, shining the light on the fact that African American women are often misdiagnosed higher than
mhm.
any other ethnic group. And it's
Yes.
because, they feel like maybe we're exaggerating what we're talking about, or it's not that serious or that
Mhm,
deep. And so,
mhm,
these stories should encourage you to step out and make sure that you are looking out for yourself, but also for
mhm.
the generations to come. Knowledge is power, and what I love about what you've done, Albany, with your story is not only did it happen to you, but to say not on my watch, will it continue to happen to anybody else? We're going to go out
Exactly.
and advocate for legislation and, put policies and procedures to put in place so that no other woman has to experience what I experienced. Because bottom line, if I'm being diligent enough to say I'm checking to make sure is your health good, look, you got any STDs or anything that I need to know about.
Mhm,
Is your credit good? Is this, that, the
mhm,
other good? And then
mhm.
it's one other box that you can check, and you thinking like nobody said anything about it. I don't see any signs of anything being wrong
Exactly.
or being disturbing. And now I'm caught up in a situation where, whew, who knows?
Exactly, and it was fast. It happened so fast
Mhm.
that
Mm.
you would just think that it was something that would have went over, a couple months or
Right,
whatnot, and so
right.
it shocks a lot of
Wow.
people. They're like, "Wow, that only happened." I'm like, "Yes, I kinda glad it happened that fast because, I knew what I was getting myself into by then."
Hmm.
But, it was definitely an eye opener, and with it being 2024, a lot of people are dating online. You
Mhm.
meet new people every day. Since
Yeah.
COVID, a lot of people is home,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's harder to date. And so with me having a checklist and just thinking, okay, well, these are the basics. If I was hiring, these are the basics that I would look for, right? Like when you
Right.
hire somebody, you do a background check, credit check. I mean, background check mainly, but knowing that I did all that and I still found myself in that situation and then reaching out for help and not being able to get that assistance that was needed, it really did shine a light on the gray areas that are within the domestic violence, mental illness, and police policy and procedure. And it's kind of crazy because even when, and it's not crazy, I take that back, even when I'm talking to people and even no matter how high they are, and level in life, somebody knows somebody with the mental illness.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
didn't know how common that was until I was
Mhm.
talking. I'm telling my story and they're like, yeah, you know what? I have a family member that was diagnosed with
Mhm.
this and our life has been just in shambles since the diagnosis. And when they
Mhm.
take their medication it's like this, and when they don't it's like this. And just sitting back and listening to these stories and knowing that
Mhm.
there's not really much that they have in place for that. And it's just not right. And I'm glad I did have the opportunity to get with these different organizations and really get out there. I will say this, that when I first started, I was so discouraged. Because I didn't really talk to a lot of people. I worked from home. I'm a mom. I'm doing my thing. And when it happened, I was just thinking to myself, like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to show up. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow the plan. And I'm just going to allow the universe to deal with it. And when I took that stand, I've been introduced to more people than I
Wow.
would ever imagine. More people support, because a lot of people, they're like, you kind of know where your family and your friends are when you're going through something, when you
Right.
when you have a
Mhm.
business, when you're
Right.
doing something, you know who the people that show up for you.
Right.
And for so long I was just like, what's wrong? Why am I not getting what I'm asking for? And finally, when I really just had a talk with myself, had a talk with God, and just let the universe deal with it, just opportunities has just been coming. And
Mm.
I'm just so blessed with the book. I was blessed that just came out the blue. I never thought about writing a book. I never think that I would be writing a book. But then when it came, it was like, thank you, God. That was a great
Mhm.
opportunity for me to use that as therapy for me, because me talking about it and writing it down and really breaking it down, I'm
Mhm.
able to look at it like anybody else. So I'm
Right.
reading it with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a great opportunity. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed.
That's powerful.
It is. And you know what? It speaks to the fact that, like you said earlier, Albany, why me? But
Mhm.
sometimes God takes you through things to set you up for something even greater. And we
Mhm.
can't see it when what they say back in the day, I can't see the forest for the
Mm-mm.
trees. When you're
Sure
Mhm.
in
can't.
this, you have no idea. You're just overwhelmed and you're just trying to
Mhm.
figure out, how am I getting from point A to point B? But once
Exactly.
you take a step outside of that and you start realizing, like, wow, my whole trajectory of my life has changed as a
Mhm.
result of who I've become in this space,
Yes.
Mhm.
and I
Yes.
think that, for so many people, I guess my message from, just reading your book is to say that no matter where you are, don't allow your circumstances to break you. Allow it to
Exactly.
build you so
Exactly.
that you can go to this next level, because your platform is greater. It's
Mhm.
not just for you. What you went through is
Mhm.
not just for you, because somebody else needs to hear your story so that they
Exactly.
know to keep pressing, to keep,
Mhm.
moving forward, to
Mhm.
bend but don't break, to know that
Exactly.
there's
Mhm.
something on the other
Exactly.
side if you
Mhm.
just keep going. And
Mhm.
so, for you two ladies, I love that, you guys are on here talking about your individual stories that are different but still similar, because the resilience of
Mhm.
coming through it
Mhm.
shines through. You know what I'm saying? So, ladies, let's talk about this weekend. Are you all excited about this gala?
I am.
She said, "You can
Super
look,
excited
Vic,
about it.
freeze right now. Look at you."
Look, I am. I still gotta I'm getting my hair and everything done. I said I'm letting it go free right now, y'all. I'm trying to go natural and it's a struggle, but I'm excited. It's the first time I've ever went to a gala.
Okay.
First time I've ever really just dressed up like that. So I'm excited. I really
What
am.
color is your dress, Albany?
It's blue. I'm gonna
Come
do
on,
Mm.
Blue.
blue. I
Ooh.
said blue. It's cute.
Okay, well, listen, I cannot wait to see the pictures. I know that you ladies are going to look amazing. Dr. Kimberly, what is your preference of color this time?
I'm wearing orange this time.
Come
I bet
on,
that's
orange.
gonna
That's
be
my favorite.
pretty.
Look, okay, come on, lady in orange. Look,
Mhm.
Tennessee orange.
Orange and
Mhm.
speckles.
Yes, that's gonna be so pretty.
Thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to the gala before, but
Mhm.
actually I've been to 2, but
Mm.
Okay.
every year they get better and better. So if you haven't been, Ebony, before, you are so in for a treat, and
I'm
anyone
so
else who's coming in, if
excited.
you don't already have a ticket, you need to get one, like, really, really quick.
Listen, Dr. Tanya said in the previous broadcast, I think it was 2 tables, 5 seats available. So listen,
Yes.
y'all better get in where you fit in if you're trying to get there because it's been a sold out event, I believe, just about every time, every year, if I'm not mistaken. So
Mhm,
this
Mhm.
year, most definitely, honey, if it's only five
mhm,
left on a two Thursday night, by
Yes.
mhm.
Saturday, it will be
It's gonna
sold
be
out.
gone.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
This isn't the
Exactly.
time to
Yeah.
procrastinate. And I love it because not only, you see women from all walks of life. That's what I really appreciate about Dr. Tanya.
Mhm.
She brings women in from all walks of life, all ethnicities, different areas of work, and come in and just really celebrate all of these women. Like, women celebrating women, that is something powerful in
Beautiful,
and of itself. But she has
Yeah.
beautiful.
great food, great entertainment. We always have a blast with the entertainment, and everything that Dr. Tanya does is done with excellence, bar none.
Yes.
And so it is going to be a night of excellence. It's going to be a night of elegance and grace.
Oh,
But
I
in
can't
addition to that, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to eat good. And
wait.
even at the end, we may do a little bit of dancing too. So get your dancing shoes out, girl, because I know we
Mhm.
burned the carpet the last 2 times and it was so much fun.
I'll make sure to bring my
Yeah.
flats. Look,
Honey,
Yes.
I
I'll bring the
from
flats.
last year and it was amazing, baby. Honey, I saw some videos and baby, y'all were dancing, honey. Listen,
Mhm.
Mm.
having a great time. So, Albany, make sure you bring some flat shoes, baby, so you can go on out there and do what you need to do, right? And anyhow, how about your feet hurt? We need you to be out there and do on the dance floor and be cute too, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
we will
I
be.
can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
It's a time for celebration. I'm telling you, when you think about, excuse me, think about not only Dr. Tanya celebrating women, in the Nashville and surrounding areas, for their different accomplishments, but for you all to complete this book. And, y'all are pushing for bestsellers. So, like I said, the link is in the comments. Make sure you go and click that link, download it for $2.99,
Yes.
go through the book. Leave a 5-star rating, do a great review, because anytime you have people who are willing to share their stories for the greater good, to help somebody, even if it's one person, that's one person that's life can be changed just because you decide
Exactly.
to share your story. And so don't ever underestimate the power of your story. And we all have stories, we
Mhm.
all in any situation could be where any one of you ladies was at, and I just think it's powerful. And the fact that you've come together, this is a lifelong connection, as you move forward. Y'all, this book will hold you all together for the rest of your lives. Somebody can go back and read this, years and decades on down the line. So I just think
Mhm.
it's really powerful to see how you all have taken adversity and taken it to another level to really help people be better and have a better life. So,
Mhm.
any parting words that either of you want to say to anybody before
Mhm.
we end the broadcast?
Mhm.
Okay,
You
I'll
go
go
ahead.
first. Okay. Yes, absolutely. One, we talked about just making sure that you take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, what I mean is first, spiritually, and definitely, inner healing when it comes to your mind, your body, your emotions. But I also want to, oftentimes we do forget about the finances. Women are so underrepresented when it comes to the number of billionaires in the United States. We need to start thinking bigger and dreaming bigger. We can
Mhm.
accomplish those things, right? But percentage wise, we are at a lower percentage when it comes to the billionaires in the United States. We are at a lower percentage when it comes to the millionaires in the United States. We are also underrepresented when it comes to women who are actually covered with life insurance. You'd be surprised at the statistics when it comes to that. So, we can do better, and I'm here to help. But hey, take care of you. I think that that's one of the things, it's kind of the common thread within this anthology, is that each and every individual has come through so much, and yet they still persevere, and they've taken care of themselves, right? And they did the work for themselves, and now they're paying it forward. We're all paying it forward collectively. And so that's one of the things that I really appreciated about this. And Angela, thank you so much for everything that you have done to help bring us together. Dr. Tanya Davis, man, she is such a jewel. The two of you are two powerhouses. You're those roses that I talk about in the chapter. And so, hey, I really appreciate this opportunity, and really appreciate you guys, because you guys are definitely shining stars. And
Uh,
Ebony, I love you, girl.
Thank
Like,
you
you
so
are love.
much. I love all of you all. I'm telling you, I'm going to say this. I've been saying this for the past couple months. Progress is a process.
Mm,
yeah.
Progress is a process.
yes.
You may not be where you want to be, but you sure ain't where you used to be. Because I sit there and I think, and I'm like, I might not be where I used to be, but I'm definitely not trying to go back there either, you know?
Mm,
So
Mm,
progress is a process. Sometimes you got to show up, you got to show out for yourself, because we show
yes.
up for everybody else. Now it's time to show up for yourself. So that's all I'm gonna say. But I thank everyone that's in it. Thank y'all so much for the opportunity.
Mm.
Thank you for the love. Thank you for everything.
absolutely. I'm telling y'all again, get the book. These ladies have done a phenomenal job of sharing their story. And get you a ticket and go to Women Who Rock Nashville. I'm telling you, the gala is something to be a night unforgettable. And so, the fact that you all get to have that experience, not only as attendees, but as authors, co-authors of this project, I think, is just going to be phenomenal. And I know all of you don't personally know each other. So this is going to be great for you to meet each other for the first time and all of that. So I'm wishing you all well. I'm wishing you all an amazing opportunity to, take what you've done and go further. It's not the beginning. It is not the end. It is the beginning of even bigger things to happen. And for both of you,
Exactly.
if y'all got any social media or any information you want to leave somebody with on how to get in contact with you, you can do that at this time too.
hmm You can just contact me on Facebook at Albany Weatherspoon. Also, on Instagram as well. I am Latrice is actually on Instagram. But yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For me, Facebook, Dr. Kimberly Golden on Facebook, Instagram, golden_fit_girl. So Golden Fit Girl on Instagram. And that's it.
Awesome. Well, listen again. Thank y'all so much. Have a phenomenal time, and I'm gonna just go and put it out there, honey. Congratulations on being good bestsellers, because I know this is going to be a best book.
Thank
So,
you.
yes. Y'all
Thank
have a good
you.
night. Thanks so
All right,
much for
y'all have
sharing.
a good one.
Mhm.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night. Thank
Okay.
Bye.
you.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.